John Beard, Kelly Lang, Fritz Coleman Weather, Fred Rogan, Sports, Jess Marvel, Cover Story, Channel 4 News, Lightside, #1 at 11.
Good evening, everybody. Topping our news, the heat. It is a hot, hot summer night after a scorcher of a day with firefighters battling brush fires while the rest of us tried to cope with heavy smog and searing temperatures. Patrick Healy reports.
Summer's first heat wave, a boon for sidewalk cafes and evening strolls, pleasures to be savored in view of what else the heat has brought. It started as a controlled burn, but flared out of control in the Cleveland National Forest above Corona, fortunately consuming only brush. Then late afternoon near the top of Topanga Canyon, LA's first brush fire of the summer briefly threatened a mobile home park.
The flame shot up and they jumped across the tanks and started catching the brush about 500 yards from us.
Lack of strong wind helped, and LA City and county fire crews teamed up to stop it at 50 acres before any homes burned. Still, with the temperature hovering at 100 degrees, the heat overcame one young man on the hand crew from a county juvenile camp. Hospitalized, he's now recovering. Chalk this one up as a victory for fire crews, but after 4 years of drought, as dry as this brush is, there's real concern this may have been only a small sample of things to come.
In my 33 years, it is the worst that I have ever seen as far as the conditions with the drought.
We could have a lot of fires, and so the people have to be very careful this year. Of course, you know we're short of water and things like that, so everything compounds it.
The heat, of course, also increases the strain on the water shortage as the LA City Council grapples with Mayor Bradley's proposal for mandatory water conservation. And the blazing summer sun brought something else that affects us all to a lesser or greater extent, smog. First stage alerts were called in much of the Inland Empire.
We've got the perfect blend for photochemical smog, and that's what we see out there every day.
Smog, heat, fires, drought. Welcome to summer. Patrick Healy, Channel 4 News, Sherman Oaks.
And will it be another scorcher tomorrow? We'll have the answer to that in a few minutes from now. Kelly?
Other news this night, Las Vegas police today arrested a man suspected of kidnapping 2 San Bernardino County girls and leaving them in the Mojave Desert. Police say that 36-year-old Alan Erickson was arrested after he got into a scuffle with officers in Las Vegas. Meantime, at Loma Linda Hospital, it was reunion day for 3-year-old Christina Johnson and 6-year-old Silver Putnam, the half-sisters that Erickson is accused of kidnapping. Their mother says that he's a family friend who had permission to take the girls shopping. Then they all disappeared. The girls were found abandoned in the desert last week, suffering from dehydration, one of them near death. Silver's okay now, and her little sister is expected to be released tomorrow. Other news, prosecutors say that Marlon Brando's daughter, Cheyenne, has left for Tahiti to avoid testifying against her brother. He, of course, accused of murdering her boyfriend at the Brando estate last month. Cheyenne Brando is 8 months pregnant. Prosecutors say she did leave them a statement which may be used as evidence.
Sam Kennison's bodyguard went to court today where he pleaded not guilty to raping Kennison's girlfriend. Police escorted the suspect, 6'5", 300-pound, 22-year-old Unway Carter, from his Hollywood jail cell to court. Once in court, he pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of rape. Carter's accused of raping Kennison's girlfriend last week while the star slept in another room of his home in the Hollywood Hills. Carter's being held on $100,000 bail. A West Hollywood neighborhood is shaken tonight after police caught a rapist in the act. Our Crime Watch reporter Will Spence is on the scene, and he has details for us. Will.
Willoughby Avenue, West Hollywood. The LAPD says there was a rape on this street Sunday morning. 50-year-old woman out jogging, comes back, leaves her door open, expecting a friend, jumps into the shower, comes out of the shower, say police, and there's a man in her house. That man drags her into the bedroom, say police, and proceeds to rape her. The friend shows up, sees what's happening, jumps outside, calls 911. The police show up, and the rapist, still apparently attacking the woman, threatens to stab the woman with her own scissors. The police fire 2 shots, killing the rapist. So tonight, there is a suspect in the morgue, a victim in the hospital, and reaction in the neighborhood.
An act of violence perpetrated on any human being is difficult for people when it occurs in your neighborhood.
You're right next door. Do you worry about your own safety?
Of course, and everybody in the neighborhood is worried for their own safety.
I hope that she doesn't receive the HIV virus. And my prayers are with her.
We cannot take the kids to play cross the street to our own park because, and the sun is full of epidermic needles and things that we cannot even mention over the TV.
There is some tension in this middle-class neighborhood. Directly across the street from where the rape occurred, there is a park with almost a dozen homeless living in it.
It's reflecting on a lot of other people here.
What do you explain that? What do you mean?
Because I was here and a guy came in who lives in the neighborhood, you know, and he started getting racial with the black people here, you know, and he was like, why don't you niggas just get out of here?
What do you say about the fact that some of the neighbors worry about the transients in the park here?
There's no connection. These transients, we're not rapists. You know, these guys are not rapists up here. They're alcoholics. You know, they're not jumping through anybody's window to rape anybody.
The suspect was identified by the coroner this morning using fingerprints. They don't know yet where he lived or what he was doing in the Los Angeles area. He does have a felony record with the FBI. There was a neighbor woman here who identified the suspect after he had been shot and killed. She says he was the same man she found in her house 10 days ago. The police are saying that man apparently had been working this area looking for burglary and obviously other things. So that's the situation here in West Hollywood. We are live. Back to the studio, John and Kelly.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that. National news now. Anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela is in Washington tonight. He capped off the night by dining with 40 U.S. senators in the ornate caucus room of the Senate office building. And once again, Mandela spoke of his deep gratitude for United States support.
The success achieved by blacks in this country in various fields and under great difficulties has been a source of great inspiration to us.
Earlier today, Mandela met with President Bush at the White House. Now, he will arrive here in Los Angeles on Friday morning, and you can watch the arrival and events surrounding his visit live at 11 a.m. here on Channel 4. John.
And the Supreme Court ruled today on two issues that are emotional powder kegs. Jess has details in tonight's cover story.
The Supreme Court's decisions today affect both the right to life and the right to death. And the two issues, related as they are, give us the first real measure of this Supreme Court. Teenagers will find it more difficult to have abortions after the court ruled to uphold laws banning abortion for unmarried and dependent girls under 18 without parental consent or a judge's approval. For some teens, informing a parent is the hardest part of an unwanted pregnancy.
There are some teenagers that simply cannot cope with telling their parents or a parent.
And to undergo the humiliation of appealing to a judge.
It wasn't something that I felt that anybody should have to go through because, it's something that is something private to you.
The justices were badly split. Kennedy, Rehnquist, White, and Scalia approved. Stevens, Marshall, Brennan, and Blackmun opposed state interference. The deciding vote was cast by Sandra Day O'Connor, who has long been viewed as the swing vote on the abortion issue. Local reaction was predictable.
Now, this decision is going to say, hey, you can't sell my 12-year-old daughter an abortion without me being involved in the process.
Pro-choice forces were saddened by the decision.
In our case in LA County, about half of them are actually victims of incest themselves. To expose them to the perpetrators of injustice and say that these are the people you have to depend on to get health care.
On the right to die issue, Nancy Cruzan of Missouri has been comatose for 7 years. Her body is rigid, in a fetal position, no thoughts, no emotions. Her condition is irreversible, kept alive only by a feeding tube. Her parents sought to allow her to die.
We could ask Nancy what she would want. She would say, turn me loose, set me free, let me go.
Chief Justice Rehnquist wrote, that is not enough. There must be clear proof that the patient would have wanted to die. A living will would apparently suffice. Healthy people could, with such a will, clearly indicate that in the event of an irreversible, coma-like condition, they do not want their lives prolonged. In Fullerton today, after the court's ruling, Dr. T. James Gallagher, president of the Society of Critical Care Medicine, said the decision should prompt families to discuss the issues and to express them in writing, so family members' wishes are known before a crisis occurs. John? Kelly?
Okay. Back to the broiler now. Coming up, we've got more on the heat. Plus, the forecast for tomorrow. Is anybody ever going to turn this heat off? We'll find out.
Also, with the heat and the drought combined, many cities are getting some surprise visitors, the uninvited four-legged variety.
Coming up later on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, comedian Gary Shandling cracks wise about the White House.
It's a rental. Right. Nixon actually didn't get his cleaning deposit back. Because they said he didn't give him 30 days notice.
Plus, Johnny welcomes actor heartthrob Patrick Swayze.
Give us more. Give us more.
Okay, Johnny, on Late Night with David Letterman, it's the Wonder Years' Fred Savage plus the Bodines.
If you don't have to drive tonight, stay home.
Coming up later tonight.
He's sophisticated.
This is a robbery.
Smart.
You believe this? This is a robbery.
Sexy.
I think you're just afraid to party with a real man.
Bill Murray stars in his funniest movie since the original Ghostbusters.
Please, God! We need a cab!
It's ingeniously and irresistibly entertaining.
God, I hate this town.
Quick Change, rated R, starts Friday, July 13th at a theater near you.
You've been staring out there all day. What are you doing?
Trying to figure out which computer is the most powerful.
Well, that's easy. The one with the most memory, megahertz, MIPS, you know.
No, I don't think so.
Here we go.
I think the most powerful computer is the one that people actually use.
Macintosh has the power to change the way you look at computers.
But that's not really a fair comparison. People like using the Mac.
Just how many hand tools does it take to remove Pontiac Transport's innovative modular seats? Only 2. Transport, the Pontiac of minivans. How many different ways can you arrange the modular seats and cargo area of the new Pontiac Transport? Who knows? And here's 1,000 more reasons to see your Pontiac dealer now.
Transport!
An unsuspecting FBI agent walked in on a bank robbery in Las Vegas today, and when it was over, the agent had been killed. Apparently, Agent John Bailey went to a bank to serve a subpoena. It turned out the bank was in the process of being robbed. Agent Bailey spotted the suspect, pulled his gun, and Bailey was shot and killed. The suspect ran off. Police got him, though. 27-year-old Carlos Gurry is behind bars tonight.
The drought is widespread across the West, and uninvited four-legged guests are showing up in the suburbs looking for water. For example, some bear families are coming into campgrounds and backyards near Denver. The bears head for garbage cans and any other possible source of food and water. Makes it a little bit dicey to have a barbecue in your backyard. Mountain lions have eaten several house pets in the area, and a pair of them treed a jogger. People are being urged to keep an eye out and to be very, very careful. It'll keep you on your toes, wouldn't it?
Ooh, we hate that. Okay, now Fritz is out on vacation, leaving the first major scorcher of the summer right on this man's shoulders. What do you think? What are you going to do with it?
It's a burden to bear, but I think I can handle this one. Yeah, we've been talking about the heat, and, you know, like they say, you haven't seen anything yet because it's going to be hotter tomorrow. The valleys are going to be burning up with 100-degree temperatures. It is very dry out there because of our 4 years of drought and our lack of rain this last year, so do be careful with fires. I'll show you one way if people tried to beat the heat out in Studio City. 4! Yeah, there you go. Keep the head down, follow through. Yeah, that's that Studio City golf course out there on Whitsett, I believe. Nice place to be today, or especially tonight when it's a little bit cooler. They have lights out there as well, so you can play on the driving range at night. Let's have some numbers. 92 was how hot it got today. It wasn't a record. 1883, 98 degrees, that was the record. But if we can reach that mark tomorrow, we'll be in the record books. Right now, the forecast high is for 93 degrees. Currently, it is 73. Barometer steady as a rock at 29.91 inches. Humidity up a little bit to 55%. Winds are out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour. Three-dimensional map shows that they're almost finished with the moisture in the east, except for Florida still playing with some thunderstorms. Center part of the nation is warming up very rapidly, and with that rapid warm-up comes thunderstorms that are just exploding across the plain states. And in our area, high pressure is dominating. What that really means is because of 3, 1, 2, and there's another one out over the Pacific, and I'll show it to you in a little while. Because of these 3 high-pressure systems and this thermal low in the desert, we're seeing an intense warm-up, and it's going to stay that way for at least 2, possibly 3 days. One low-pressure system is making its way through the plain states, going to generate more thunderstorms than rain showers, though there will be some up around the Great Lakes region, and then the band of thunderstorms around Florida. But the rain showers are really the problem. We're going to continue to see more of the same. The heat goes on, and that means with all that high pressure is that our air quality is going to spread out tomorrow. This is today's and this is tomorrow's, as you can see. Downtown Los Angeles will be under a stage 1 from Hemet all the way up to Pomona. San Fernando and Santa Clarita Valley is going to have unhealthful air, but still, it's not too bad compared. Let's move on with the forecasts. I'll show you the numbers for tonight. Out there in Burbank, well, we're going to get down to around 68 degrees. That's very balmy for this time of the year. And up there in Santa Barbara, 59 for a low. Moving on to the forecast highs for tomorrow. Look at all the 100s, from the high desert to the low desert to Santa Clarita Valley to Burbank. It's going to be a warm one. Take it slow. Here is the weather forecast for tonight. Warm, dry, and perfect, and the 5-day reads like this. The word hot shows up a lot, so don't worry about it. It's just going to be around for a while. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Today in LA at 6.
Okay, so that guess, that's hot too.
Yeah, guess.
See how good we are?
You're clever.
Okay, thank you, Christopher. Now, coming up, Steven Spielberg is going to do something to the musical Cats that really sounds like a lot of fun. We'll show you.
But before that, the White Sox clean and press the Angels. Sports is next.
I'm treating myself today. Call it a little celebration. Sliced sirloin, smothered in grilled onions and lots of melting cheese. Everything I love on a toasted roll. What's a special occasion? Lunch.
The new sirloin cheesesteak from Jack in the Box. Juicy sirloin sliced thin with grilled onions and melting cheese on a toasted steak roll. For exciting new taste, this is the place.
I love to celebrate.
There's a new world arriving. Today, people travel between countries like they used to travel between cities. And one airline best understands their needs. Cathay Pacific. Every flight we make is international. And now we've added the only non-stop service from LA to Hong Kong. All to help the new world of international travelers arrive in better shape. There's a new world arriving on Cathay.
You ever hear of Farfignugan?
Sure have, but what does it mean?
Farfignugan means value, means quality.
Farfignugan. It's just the way the whole car handles.
So in your Volkswagen, that means...
For me, a Golf's a terrific car because, one, the price was right.
It feels like it was made for me. It fits me perfectly.
And your dealer?
My Volkswagen dealer had a great selection. I found the car I wanted at the perfect price.
Come and experience Farfignugan for yourself.
Well, you're missing something if you don't have one.
If you're a woman, watch out for a shoe that doesn't protect your bones. But watch this. New Easy Spirit shock blockers actually block shock waves that ordinarily would have shot right through her body. New Easy Spirit, because a woman's bones need extra protection, especially when you're over 30. Shock blockers, the only aerobic shoes shaped for a woman with precision fit. Easy Spirit, get the perfect fit
at Nordstrom. The Arrowhead Springs are totally protected by mountain wilderness. That's why Arrowhead Mountain Spring water is as pure as spring water ever gets.
All right, Fred's off, Brett's here, and he's talking baseball. We're talking Angels all weekend. The Angels were loving the fact that the Chicago White Sox are playing so well. That's because they took 3 straight from Oakland. Tonight, the Angels didn't think that was such a great idea. That's because they came to Anaheim to play the Angels. White Sox are the youngest team in the major leagues. Well, not quite this young, but young. And they may be the surprise team of baseball, starting the night 1 game behind the A's in the American League West. No score tonight in the 6th. Ozzie Guillen with a line drive to center, far enough to get Dave Gallagher home from 3rd. If Dante Bichette wasn't the center fielder, plows into Lance Parrish. Parrish holds onto the ball. He is out of there. Mark Langston pitched well again, but not good enough to win. In the 7th, ageless Carlton Fisk. And you have no idea how much I love calling a 40-year-old guy ageless. Anyway, he homers just inside the left field foul pole. 2-0, bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Angels. Luis Polonia singles to left. Chili Davis goes to 3rd. He's told to stay there, but says, no, I can score. John, you make the call. It's going to be awful close. Awful close. What do you think? I think he was out. I think he should have stayed on 3rd. White Sox win it 2-0. At the Minneapolis Metrodome, Twins hosting the Texas Rangers. Mike Jeffcoat of the Rangers trying to pick off Kent Herbeck right off his helmet. Ignoring modern baseball tradition, he doesn't charge the mound. He goes to 3rd. Don't worry, honey, he wasn't hurt. He was okay. This was in the bottom of the 6th. Greg Gagne sends it to left field. Pete Incaviglia goes after it. Pete against the wall. Final score, Wall 1, Pete nothing. 2 runs scored. Gagne was out at 3rd, but it didn't matter. Twins go on to win it 9-1, exciting the faithful at the Metrodome, including the winners of the Golden Girls Look-alike contest. On the scoreboard, the A's break a 3-game losing streak. Boston moves back into first place in the American League East, and Cleveland beat Milwaukee. The Dodgers are facing life after a pennant race. After the weekend trip to Cincinnati, they are 10.5 games out of first place in the National League West. Tommy Lasorda may be tempted to pick up the old ball himself and go to the mound until he watches young Ramon Martinez throw another masterpiece. Tonight against the Braves, Martinez got some early defensive support from Mickey Hatcher, chasing down the sinking line drive by David Justice and making a tumbling catch. After tumbling in Cincinnati, Dodgers needed a boost. There's nothing like playing the Atlanta Braves to give it to you. Top of the third, Mike Scioscia with an excuse me single to left field. That brings home Eddie Murray, but that isn't all the damage done. Still in the top of the third, Juan Samuel at the plate. He lines it to left field. Hubie Brooks comes in to score. That's all Ramon Martinez needed. No 18 strikeout performance like last time against the Braves. Tonight he struck out 9 to win his 9th game against 3 losses. And how did the Atlanta bullpen handle all of this? Sort of providing their own entertainment. Dodgers win it 5-2. In Chicago, Mike Aldrete of the Montreal Expos going about his business, making incredible catches. Bottom of the third, Ryan Sandberg of the Cubs at the plate. Sinking liner left center field. Aldrete just launches himself. What a great catch. He does that a lot. Runner goes back to first. That saved extra bases, maybe a run. Montreal goes on to win it 7-3. Red Hot Reds just killing time till the playoffs, hosting the San Francisco Giants. Todd Benzinger sends it to right field, but Rick Leach makes a fine catch to rob him of extra bases. Reds took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers over the weekend. Tonight playing the Giants, who trailed them by 9 games in the National League West. Billy Hatcher with a foul caught by a vendor, and she is proud. That's the kind of hand speed you have from tossing those peanut packs around. Yeah, I got it. You can't have it. It's mine. Reds won the game 5-2. Rounding it out, Pirates keep a half-game lead in the East, while the Astros and Mets both won. Wimbledon Tennis Championships got underway today. A mild upset of sorts as Yannick Noah was beaten. Yvonne Lendl and Boris Becker struggled a bit, but won their matches. Henri Leconte in the far court against Simon Yowell of Australia. Simon has been watching Boris Becker jump around like crazy, so he figures he'll try it. Great diving, not so good tennis. You're a little bit out of position. Henri Leconte won in straight sets. And Ireland and Italy won in World Cup. And that's a look at sports. All right,
okay, sounds good. Thank you, Brett. Now, don't go anywhere because you're going to like this, okay? Some fun news. The Tony Award-winning musical Cats is headed for the big screen as a top-quality cartoon. Now, the original production, I'm sure you know, opened in London 9 years ago. The New York version 1 year later. Both still running after thousands of performances. Well, today, director Steven Spielberg and Cats composer Andrew Lloyd Webber announced a collaboration. They are turning Cats into a feature-length cartoon. Spielberg also executive produced the cartoon blockbuster Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
All right. Well, still to come, you worried that your pet might run off or fly off for that matter? Well, here's one way to help you find them again. Sorry, Brian.
When you cut through the fog surrounding BMW, the clear answer is Cadillac. Compare Cadillac Seville's exclusive 4.5-liter V8 with the 3.5-liter 6 in a BMW 535i. Compare Seville's luxurious interior and refined new styling. And considering the $2,000 cash bonus when you purchase a new Seville, it's no contest. Fortunately, the clear value in luxury cars today is Cadillac.
You're the top, you're the Coliseum, you're the top, you're the Louvre Museum, you're the best in beer, that fact is clear, each drop, you're #1, second to none, you're the top.
Heineken, America's #1 imported beer. Amstel Light, America's #1 imported light beer.
You're a cut above, the taste we love, each drop, you're the best of both worlds, you're the tops.
Introducing reformulated Chevron Supreme, a high-performance unleaded gasoline with down-to-earth advantages. From cold starts to hot finishes. For smooth performance, it's the best gasoline you can buy. And since new Chevron Supreme also reduces emissions, it performs better up here, too. Reformulated Chevron Supreme gives new meaning to high performance.
This summer, Disneyland turns the spotlight onto America's ultimate crime stopper, Dick Tracy, with a live stage spectacular that brings the magic of the movie to the Magic Kingdom. Meet Blacktop, Mumbles, Big Boy, and Breathless Mahoney as an all-new caper comes to life. It's your chance to even get into the act. If you love the movie, you'll love Dick Tracy live this summer at Disneyland.
My mama told me you better shop around.
You'd better shop at Close Time and save every day. Close Time.
You better shop around.
This just in, L.A. Sheriff's deputies report that a man driving east on the Pomona Freeway tonight was shot in the head, apparently without provocation, by an assailant driving a maroon car shortly after 10 o'clock tonight. The victim was able to drive his pickup truck to the Diamond Bar off-ramp to a fast food restaurant where an ambulance took him to the hospital, and he is talking to police, we're told. Kelly?
Okay, we're going to talk about your pet now. Dog tags are not practical for identifying some pets, so science has come up with another way. It is being used, for example, on expensive exotic birds, which can be worth thousands of dollars. A tiny microchip is actually injected into, for example, the breast muscle of a bird. It looks like it hurts. We're told it does not, and also it's for his own good. If he flies away or is stolen, they can find him. A special scanning device is able to read the chip's ID number, even though it's under the bird's skin. Now, this can definitely help owners get lost or stolen birds back, and it can be used for other pets as well.
We're told that doesn't hurt. Okay,
And
finally
husbands.
tonight, it looked like it hurt. Finally tonight, futuristic help for drivers who were sick of being stuck in traffic.
Pico, heavily congested. From Vermont to Hoover.
Caltrans introduced a talking dashboard device. Warns you about gridlock, accidents, and other freeway hassles. If they work the bugs out in time, we may all have one of those things.
We may all have one, and what will I think of next, huh? That's
just
going
have
to
to
do
wait
it
and
for this edition of Nightside. See you tomorrow. We got to go.
Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
Unit 5, you guys won't believe this one. Roll units.
10-4.
The Riot Act, the new stunt show at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Who's got sedan-size savings for you right now? Ask your Mazda dealer during the Mazda Summer Sales Event. Whose family sedan will get you $1,000 cash back? Ask your Mazda dealer about 626 now. Whose compact sedan will get you up to $1,285 in savings? Ask about Protege during the Mazda Summer Sales Event.
Ask me about savings on all my Mazdas.
At your Southern California Mazda dealer now.
He was a weasel. A fink. A real lowlife.
Yeah, he was the best.
Till somebody turned him in for a big reward.
McDonald's Dick Tracy game is turning everyone into Crime Stoppers. But there are still crimes to solve, still criminals to catch, still millions of cash and food prizes to win. So hurry to Dick Tracy headquarters.
Food, folks, and fun.
Stay tuned for The Tonight Show next as Johnny welcomes Patrick Swayze, followed immediately by Late Night as Dave welcomes actor Fred Savage.